Professor, what have been the main changes in the last 10, 15 years with respect to the drivers of economic growth?
I think many of the drivers are always there, but they go in big, long waves. My suspicion is that information and communication technology has proliferated across the economy, and that process is pretty much coming to an end, and we're waiting for the next big thing, which is then going to boost the economy again. Many people say it's biotech, other people say it's three-dimensional printing, things like this. So I think what happens is we had a big wave of innovations, and that has matured, and now we're waiting for another one to come to take, so to speak, take on the leadership and move forward.
And why is the development process from agriculture, later industry, latest times services so important for growth?
It's important for growth because without changing much in terms of productivity, you can realize big productivity gains by allocating resources from rather unproductive agriculture, in poorer countries at least it's unproductive, to more productive activities outside of agriculture. So it's very attractive because it doesn't require you to change much in the production, it just requires you to change where people work, whether they work in some low efficiency farming in the Spanish countryside or they work in a much more productive activity in the cities. Now on top of that, there's implications that people get more education when they go to the city. People learn more from others because there's more concentration when they live in cities. People communicate more efficiently. People get different inputs more efficiently, so the production process changes. But I would say that reallocation is at the heart of it, that you move people from unproductive to more productive uses of their time.
Mm-hmm. In the context of globalization, what are the consequences for growth of limitation to the mobility of labor and capital?
So the question is, if you limit the mobility of labor and capital, what are the consequences? I mean, it's very related to the previous question. One way of limiting the mobility of capital and labor is have everybody stay where they are, namely in agriculture or in the countryside, and prevent them from going to cities. So that's a misallocation, and that has consequences for income because people don't get allocated to their most productive uses. Now, in a more broad sense, I think this is also true across countries. What I said before happens within a country, also across countries, that capital flows to the most productive uses wherever that might be, or that people who are more productive in other locations might be able to migrate. And that's a big question, as we know, in the European Union right now, where everybody's afraid of migration because it challenges local cultural identities. As we know from the US, it's the immigration country, and there isn't that much of a strong core culture in the sense that you have to do things this or that way. There's lots of different ways. And it seems people are afraid of that, but on the other hand, the US is the richest country, and probably the reason for that is that there is so much migration and flexibility that very talented people can always come.